Okay, so this is my failure to launch, but gotta try anyway video. This is all about me. Um, and if you are like me, you will totally understand this video. And I know so many people are going to resonate with this statement that when I say this world is not built for people like me, you're going to go, hell yeah, I totally agree. And I know that most of us don't feel comfortable on this planet. We don't like the way it works. The whole system is just so out of alignment, out of harmony. It doesn't feel right. It never felt right. And yeah, it's never felt right to me, even when I was a child. I'm sure you feel the same way. But for some people, it's those people who are still 60 years old who are 60 years old and have never left their parents' house or parents' basement, still trying to figure out what they're meant to be or what they're meant to do, what they can do in the world, get it together. Well, that's completely me. And that has been my life. That has been my failure to launch. Because while I know this world doesn't work for most of us and it's so out of alignment, many of us have figured out a way to like do something in the world, had a motivation, had something. And me, I never ever had a motivation to do anything other than the internal spiritual journey. I started off life that way, and I'm going to end life that way. And all I have ever done as a child was to be contemplate. I sit and contemplate and I think deep things and I interact with the universe and I get deep insights and blah blah blah. You've heard it all before. And that kind of personality, there is no room for that personality on this planet. It doesn't work in the collective society because you're here to achieve, you're here to earn money, and you're supposed to become something or at least have a talent that you can offer to people. Well, I mean, what if you're like me and your only talent is going within, finding truth and contemplating? I mean, give me a job that's about contemplating and I'm your gal. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that, yeah, that's me, failure to launch. And yet, as circumstances have arisen in my life, because I mean, I definitely had careers and jobs and things like that. And I've been greatly supported by the universe. But recently, some things are kind of shifting around and, just the cost of living, et cetera, et cetera. But also my own internal, mm, I want to have I want to have a passionate purpose, right? Other than just taking care of these cats all day, which is exhausting. I want to be able to give back. And I feel like I'm in the time of my life where I can give back. But I also find that it's necessary now for me to actually do something and, maybe earn a couple hundred extra bucks during the month so that I could feed all of these animals. It's getting like crazy out there. Anyway, so I can't just stay in the basement anymore. I have to at least try to launch something. And I'm hoping now's the time that something works. So I know I'm taking forever to get to this. So yeah, I'm just going to have to try a few things. And what I hope to do is there's no yes, I could talk about the spiritual journey and I've done that and I'm so kind of tired of sharing the process. Even though I know that what I share is not often shared by many spiritually awakened people because they don't often share the realness of it and the real hardship, nitty gritty. I am happy to share that. I am happy to share the emotionality, the real human part of it because I mean, you have to. But what I recognize in myself is I don't really have the charismatic it factor. I mean, I have the it factor perhaps in sincerity and integrity. I mean, absolutely 100%. Totally sincere and totally in integrity and always looking to be truthful and find the truth and to help others in any way I can. So that's totally it. But I don't have the personality of oh, let's have a satsang. Let's do, that's just not me. I'm kind of like, oh, I am so much like, because I have the personality of a contemplative, I'm a hermit. I've lived alone my whole life. And I just stay in that kind of field all the time, my internal world connected to the universe, right? And I'm not very good at bringing that information out into the world. And yeah, my personality is very much like, oh my God, Bernadette Roberts, the one who wrote Falling Away, the whatever, No Self Experience. You know who she is. If you don't, there's like one or two videos online, and you'll see exactly her personality's a little, it takes it takes some getting used to. It's not that lovey-dovey, adyashanti, Suzanne Marie kind of thing. That's not me either. I'm a contemplative, and I probably should have just been a nun or something like that, and I would have been fine. But anyway, here I am in the real world, and now I think I have to launch something, and it's a little bit out of alignment with mm, mm, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. But what I'm going to start doing is just to be a little bit more active on YouTube. Not that I'm trying to monetize anything on YouTube. I'll never get there because I just don't have the motivation, the energy, frankly, and the charisma. I don't have a topic. So I'm going to try with what I mentioned, I think, in another video. Are these like, let's look at some high profile figures. And I'm going to start with some political figures, like I did Trump yesterday. And I want to look at um, I I don't want to just say, "Oh, this person's bad," blah blah. I like to understand and I like to tell a little story. So I'm gonna start off the next video I'm gonna do is gonna be Andrew Colvett. And if you're not a TPUSA person, if you're not aware of that whole saga, it's not going to mean anything. But I'm going to do something with JD Vance, some political figures so that and and I'm going to do these little mini intuitive readings, see what I get. They're just for entertainment purposes only. So that instead of just constantly all day long on X or whatever, Twitter, I hate calling it X. I think there's something nefarious about that. Anyway, that we're just not saying, oh, these people are liars and blah, blah, blah. I want to look a little bit deeper. I want to look at like, what archetypal pattern are they trying to project out into the world? What are their motivations? What's going on? Is their soul corrupted? Are they human? Are they not human? I mean, nowadays we have to ask these questions like, do they have demonic influence? Blah, blah. I mean, it's so crazy, kind of fun though, right? And so I'm going to do these hopefully semi-short videos of just doing little information about people so that when we see them on the screen playing their part of this great play, we'll go, oh yeah, playing that role. I could totally see it. And, you know, regardless, because here's why I like doing this. Because regardless of, gosh, how terribly awful their behavior is, I still, except for some people are just, or like, I will not mention a name or a couple of names, but they're just so awful. I can't. mm. Anyway, I'm actually not even allowed to go near them. I don't know if I will or not, but anyway, um, but I always feel there's always a little something. When I was working at the coffee house with this malignant narcissist, as much as I felt anger and hatred and like everything, I still, and even though I could see her soul, I felt it, it came to me, there was a reptilian attachment, whatever, that there was some nefarious things going on there, demonic influences under the guise of Christianity, I still could tap into the heart and I could still tap into the human aspect of the pain and suffering and why we do what we do and why we create or attract the influences, right? I always like so I have deep empathy for most people, even if they're total liars and whatever. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. And, I don't really know how to structure them, but please, if anyone has any suggestions, any questions, any particular people that you would like me to look into, this is going to evolve. If it's of interest to you, please let me know. That will give me a little motivation, a little dopamine hit, right? Um, yeah, and I'm not biased. I promise you I'm not because I could care less. This is just the greatest show on earth, and I am happy to watch all of it as entertainment, although it is heartbreaking. And then, then pretty soon I'm going to have a little website. I say that, one landing page, and I will have a couple of offerings available. Um, just very simple, very inexpensive intuitive type readings, similar to what I'm going to be sharing here. The offerings will be like, what do you most need to hear? Do you have a situation that you feel blocked in? You know, then I can help you discern. And then even if you feel blocked in your spiritual journey or you're having a Kundalini, I can certainly do assessments and offer and see if there are any what is the word? Helpful things like, oh, you need to do this mantra or eat this or whatever. I forgot what that word is. Anyway, any things to help unblock you. Okay. So that's my plan. Uh, as I have to inform you, apparently I'm a manifester in human design. And we are just not meant to be generate, but I think I have to function that way. Now it's going to go against my energy levels. I'm doing my best because excuse me, is a time of survival, not for, for all of us. I don't know how people are surviving with the prices and everything. And I have like seven, eight, however many animals I'm feeding and myself. Not that God, I don't even care if I don't eat, coffee and protein powder is fine with me. But I care about the animals. Um, and I want to be able to make sure to take care of them. And so I have to do this. I have to be a little bit of a generator. I have to become something. I have to offer something. And yeah, so I know I don't have very many viewers, but if anything I have to offer is valuable or interesting or entertaining, please share it with others. And yeah, that's all I got for now. Okay. And my next video is going to be on Andrew Colvett. It's very interesting.